And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Apologize for the stream going down and then going back up. But we have returned with the H.4.0.S Galactic Battle number 2 with now the playoffs. We just spent the last 5 hours going over the group stage. The group stage has concluded, and now we're here ready to determine who will be this this halves for this event's champion, the best player in all of Poland. We're here to crown that players are diving into our first playoff match, and sporting in the top right-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have our Polish Protoss player, the purple Polish Protoss representing Platinum Esports. It is Rodzyn. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the yellow Zerg player representing Aftermath Esports. It is Snoxtar. Here we go. Whew. And we are diving into this. And again, the playoffs have already begun. I believe Laser already took down Papi 2-0. So a big win for Laser. My condolences to Papi, but again, he just could not he was unable to hold his own against a Laser in that rematch from House Open Cups from a couple of weeks ago. And now we're here to determine who advances on into the upper bracket quarterfinals. Now, as a reminder, no one is going to be eliminated yet. No one is yet to be eliminated. We do have all the players still in this event, as there is a lower bracket to fall back on. There's a bit of a safety net here for all the players, thankfully. So all players will still have a fighting chance, but again, you still want to stay in that upper half of the bracket for as long as you can, for as long as possible, as if we do have a standard opener from Snoxtar. Oh my god, he's crazy. Oh, I mean, I say that it is still going to be a faster gas, so we do have a gas first here from Snoxtar. Gas production or gas mining is going to be prioritized here from our Zerg player, getting into our follow-up, getting into, again, just a relatively standard build here. Nothing too crazy, no earlier pool or anything like that. Nothing too early, so we did prioritize mining that gas just for faster link speed. Back at home to see Rodzyn getting into his own gate expand into Cybercore as well. Now, Rodzyn did shake things up earlier. Again, we did cast Rodzyn in the group stage, and we were able to bear witness to how Rodzyn tried to approach a laser earlier. Did have some crazy builds up his sleeve. But against Snoxtar, I'm curious how that'll work out. Again, Snoxtar is typically a very aggressive Zerg player. Link speed is on the way, but we do pull out a gas. But he's very aggressive, very high octane as well. Not typically known for his macro. But maybe with Snoxtar joining a new team, maybe that's soon about to change. Maybe that is about to change instead. As for now, again, we do have our standard opener. It's going to be a Stargate follow-up here for Rodzyn. Stargate into Oracles, I imagine. We did see a Void Ray opener from Rodzyn in the earlier series versus a Laser, but we'll see how we kind of ease our way into this series. I imagine it's going to be a much more standard opener instead. And there it is. It's going to be Oracle first. Oracle first here from Rodzyn. We have our gate set up as well. Likewise, Snoxtar just going for a standard third base timing, so far everything's looking quite normal, and I'm a little bit shocked. I'm a little bit surprised. Again, Snoxtar is known for being hyper aggressive and cheesy, but here in game one, at least against Rodzyn, we see a much more standard setup, like calming things down. Again, maybe Snoxtar is looking to turn a new leaf. Is looking to approach this in a different way. At least they move out across the map. They do get us around. Oh, they try to at least. Nice movement out of Rodzyn, but the probe falls. So does the adept. A nice delay here on the expansion. At the same time, Oracle moves out across the map. We're going to be threatening the mineral line here of Snoxtar. Do dive in. Barely not getting the drone kill, as the Oracle does rotate around. So far, solid defense out of Snoxtar. Oracle dipping in, then backing up. Likewise, we do see Rodzyn able to finally expand. It was a much later third base here for Rodzyn, but now on the way. Now is in production. As Snoxtar so far has done a great job at holding on and keeping up with the Oracles, but now we have a second. Now with 2 Oracles, we can one-shot workers, we can pose a greater threat here to the mineral line. And we do manage to get a worker kill. Oh my god, almost catches some transferring drones. Thankfully, we do get away in time. Thankfully, we do manage to get away. And from here, Snoxtar is maintaining his economy, getting up to 3 bases, working towards a lair follow-up. And I have yet to really see too much of an investment. Okay, there we go. +1 range is on the way, so it looks like we are committing into Roach play. Now, this can go into Hydras thereafter, so Roach into Hydra into Lurker tech. Okay, we'll see if Snoxtar does head in that direction. As it gets eyes on the 3rd base, confirms the Stalkers, the army, Blink and +1 are on the way. Rodzyn taking a very standard approach here, and he looks like he will force a cancel. Just barely. Does force a cancel on that hatchery. The wall is thrown down. So far, the Oracle's not quite able to break through. Did delay the 4th at least. Rodzyn will soon be active with those Blink Stalkers. For now, just maneuvering around with these Oracles. Not quite committing, dipping in between the bases, going for the natural, and just relying on Revelations. And we spoke about it earlier, because of +1 range, it does usually lead into Hydras and Lurkers. Speaking of, there's that Hydra Den, which is confirmed by the Oracles. They confirm the Hydra Den. We'll keep an eye out for an Infestation Pit. The pit would lead into Hive Tech and into Lurkers. But now just Roach Hydra. Rodzyn is building up back at home, mining through these minerals, looking to expand the left-hand side. Likewise, thankfully, Snoxtar is knocking down these rocks, also gaining access to that left-hand base. The rocks are being knocked down. Rodzyn moving out across the map with his Blink Stalkers. +1 is about to finish up. And there's very little support for these Roaches. Chance views are on point, but Roaches are getting knocked down one after the other. And Roaches are falling. And Rodzyn is gaining so much value here, breaking through the defensive line again. This is why rushing into Roach Hydra can be a risky thing to do, as we don't have any Lings. With no Lings, there's no support for these Roaches. And Rodzyn, it looks like he might just snowball out of control. Queens are going down. Boys are being pulled. We have to. But here come more Stalkers. Behind this, Rodzyn is expanding, taking a 4th base. Working on +2. And there are barely any Roaches left. Now only Hydras do remain. It's going to be enough to barely force back the army. But this push has already been worth it. It's already been insane. Forcing back the army once again. You can see another wave of reinforcements coming in. Rodzyn does push forward. The concave is solid. Snoxtar holding on. As the Hydra army gets larger, I mean, there's quite a lot of DPS available here. Oof. Would you pick off a couple more of those Stalkers? Rodzyn, meanwhile, going for a bit of a backstab. Headed for the natural. Quick reaction out of Snoxtar. Oh my god. Impressive. Bappy. Does react in time. Hydras are amassing. I'm a little bit concerned, though, because sure, we have Hydras. That's great and all, but we don't have an Infestation Pit. We don't have a Lurker Den. It's just Roach Hydra. No further attack. As Rodzyn is keeping up, if not exceeding the economy of Snoxtar. And working towards Sky Toss. That I was not expecting. That is a little bit risky here. I was expecting, maybe faster Storm or into Colossus, but no, we're rushing into Sky Toss instead. So we do have to be careful here, as Storm is going to be on the way. Storm is in production behind the main base. Charge on the way as well. Rocks are being knocked down. Snoxtar making his way towards the fresh mining base of Rodzyn. Oh, the stasis! Up! Up! Oh, pretty good. Catches Roaches and Hydras. But Rodzyn's out of position, looking to come in from behind. We're trying to set up a surround. But we are getting damage done. 6 probes already falling. We do get on top of the base. And here comes Rodzyn. Again, a little bit out of position, and does take quite some time to get here. The stasis trap is about to run out. And Rodzyn getting caught between two armies here, or between the army and the reinforcements. Is being forced back, but he does save his base. Not bad. The base is still up and running. Storm is done. Oh, not bad. A decent storm on the Hydras. And we have 2 storms left. Ooh, and we're forced to throw them down. High Templar are targeted still because they come in from behind, but again, just a really awkward angle for Rodzyn. Yeah, this round is not working out. We're bleeding out too many Stalkers. Nah, this is not the fight to take, and Snoxtar, it looks like he's breaking through. He's snowballing out of control. Taking down so many Stalkers, the base will fall. 14 probes as well. And Snoxtar is bleeding out a lot of Hydras, but he's done enough. He has done enough, forcing the recall. Catching 3 more Stalkers in the retreat. Rodzyn is in trouble. Rodzyn in a lot of trouble right now. Rocks are being knocked down. For now, we're just calming things down, getting into infestors. The infestation bit is done, the lair is done, but no hive. So just the infestation bit for infestors. Which means against Skytools, we can even throw down some microbial shrouds. That is going to be an option. As Rodzyn goes for a bit of a desperation move, but the fungal locks down the Stalkers. The Stalkers are locked down. Remember, recall is on cooldown as well. Rough losses here for Rodzyn. And back at home, what do we have to defend? We have a carrier, we have a couple of storms. Microbial shot gets thrown down. GG gets called. It's just too much. And Snoxtar will take game number 1. GG. Solid game there from Snoxtar. Again, there were opportunities for Rodzyn, but and he was doing quite well with his first push. Like, his initial Stalker aggression was doing very well and very nicely. But then Rodzyn was caught in a really awkward position, and I say awkward, he was caught out of position. He was caught out of position, he was out on the map as we saw Snoxtar pushing towards the 4th, and then Rodzyn was stuck behind the army, in between the army and reinforcements, and he was trying to defend and trying to hold on to that base. Because of his position, he could not make use of his High Templar too well, he couldn't make use of shield batteries or overcharge. It was just a really awkward fight for Rodzyn, and he bled out far too much there. That was a really opportunistic fight for Snoxtar. And with that, GG. Snoxtar takes the first game and is 1 game away from advancing on into the upper bracket quarterfinals. Sorry, upper bracket semifinals even. Oh boy. We are getting there. Again, the winner of this series goes up against the winner of Geralt and Aristry. I believe all those matches are currently underway. Also, I do apologize. Earlier, we were talking about how I was looking forward to maybe casting Christiana versus Trifax, but I believe Christiana was playing in he was playing in WTL. He's playing in World Team League. So because of that, we have chosen different series to dive into, and we might be able to catch some Christiana later on down the line. But we're diving on in and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ghost River. We have our Polish Protoss player, the Purple Protoss, representing Platinum Esports. It is Rodzyn. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, oh, going for a 12 pool, let's go! We have our yellow Zerg player representing Aftermath Esports. It is Snoxtar. Now this is the Zerg player I know and love, because it's not just a 12 pool. We have a drone skirting around the edge of the map, looking to sneak in and looking to throw down a proxy hatchery. Okay, so it's going to be a 12 pool proxy hatch out of Snoxtar. He's just biding his time. Spawning pool is about to finish, and the drone will soon make its move. Now, thankfully, Rodzyn is going for a probe scout. Does dip in, does confirm that the hatchery is nowhere to be found, and that the spawning pool is done. Does confirm the timing as well, what's going on. Here comes the wall, but here comes the drone to deny the wall off. The drone is here. Oh, the gateway has been thrown down. Snoxtar, he has enough money for that hatchery, but Last just was unable to throw it down, and probe gets forced back. Taking a lot of hits. We fully wall off. The goal here was to deny the wall off. You see more Lings are floating across the map. Hatchery now thrown down. Ideally, this hatchery would have been to deny this wall, but alas, we didn't quite get it. Regardless, Lings are on the way. Their goal here is to knock down these walls, to knock down these gateways. Zella forced to spawn in on the other side. As Cybercore taking a lot of hits. And without that Cybercore, we can't morph in any Adepts or Stalkers. Gateway is cancelled, and we have to turn back around. We have to try to save that Cybercore. Cybercore getting low. Second Zealot has arrived. Oh, we almost get this around. But this is a better position for Rodzyn. Yeah, he cleans up the Lings. It's not the fight. The boys have been pulled. Let's go. The boys have been pulled. We zone away the Zealots and we go straight for the pylon. It's going to be close. The Adept is on the way, but the pylon goes down. We depower those gateways. The Zealot gets surrounded. They're falling one after the other. Lings once again going for the other pylon. And this is never going to spawn in. That's a kill, not a cancel. Gateways are denied, and now we're pushing into the main base. We have a backup gateway on the way. Shield batteries in production. And the boys are being pulled. Shield battery's done. That's huge. Shield battery is done. We're going for the Nexus. Trying to force the army out of position. Probes are going to be going down. Good drilling, though, out of Rodzyn. Very nice drilling. Honestly, we could even go for the gateway. We could just go for the gateway for now. Going for the probes. Ooh. They're stuck. A brutal position. Yeah, Lings, they get a good surround here on these workers. We do force the overcharge. Two more shield batteries as well. Shield batteries are up and running. Getting another probe. Now going for the gateway. Oh, that's still the Nexus. Okay, fair enough. Nexus getting a little bit low. And you can see the drones coming back home to try to mine to sustain ourselves. Adept is on the way. That's going to be a big moment here for Rodzyn. That Adept, it's about to spawn in. It's about to pop out. As we bleed out another probe. The shield battery will fall. Shield battery does go down, but the Adept pops in. And we have the shield batteries to sustain ourselves. Rodzyn, he's holding. Rodzyn is able to hold on. We're going to pick off this Cybercore. Oh, no! We commit to the shade! That was not the play! Up, up! But it looks like we will barely slip away. Whew. The Adept will escape. I can't say the same for the Cybercore. As another Adept is in production, Cybercore will go down. But we're going to have two Adepts. Back at home, we're droning. Like, Snoxtar did not do enough damage. Rodzyn still has a lead. Still up in workers. Rebuilding that Cybercore. Ooh, it's going to be a cancel on the pylon. We have an Adept moving out. Snoxtar is in trouble. Thankfully, we have a Queen to defend, but we can still manage to get some worker kills. Snoxtar needs more drones. We do slip in. Oh, getting a drone. Do you manage to get a worker? And we do manage to barely shade away as well. Yeah, now Rodzyn, he's expanding. Cybercore's on. Stargate is on the way. We have to give the edge to Rodzyn. Like, he just has a better economy. He has better tech. This 12 pool had to kill. It had to end the game, and it didn't. And as a result, Rodzyn looking to take a lead and looking to tie up the series. The pressure is now on Snoxtar, and there's no aggression. There's nothing here. We're expanding. We're droning. There's no Ling speed. Not yet. There's nothing to really threaten Rodzyn. Not anymore. And we should be able to settle into this. Should be able to settle in. Just going to be droning up. Taking our natural. It's going to take a little bit for this to really kick off. Just because of the game state and because Rodzyn lost so much. It's going to take a while. But once we do get everything going, once we get our natural base up and running, then Rodzyn start to snowball. Back at home, we have one queen to defend. Spore is now on the way, going for an extractor trick. As Snoxtar is supply blocked. Oof. Now is not the time. And it's going to be a Void Ray opener. I like this. The Void Ray can shut down all these overlords, can maintain map control, delay the third. The natural isn't even up and running. It was Oracle first into the Void Ray. Going for the Revelation. Gets eyes on the main, confirms no lair, no second gas. And we can even go for the drones. One queen is not enough. Get one up. Second drone as well. Oracle does back off. The Void Ray has arrived. So what can Snoxtar do from here? I think the best chance for Snoxtar is a 2-base all-in. Speaking of, yeah, Baliness. Yep. So the best chance here is to cut workers at maybe around 35, maybe just under 2-base saturation, and just go for a Bane Bus. Just go for a Ling Bane Bus. Oh, but we scout the Baling Nest. Rodzyn, he sees everything, and hopefully he identifies the threat of that Baling Nest. Hopefully he's aware. We do have a sentry already. Force fields are going to be key in the defense. They're going to be so good, as there's no answer to force fields. As Adepts, they shade into the main base. Oh, good position here for the Adepts. Reducing that service area. But so far, no economic damage. They do shade into the natural. Drones are now going down. Oof. Yeah, 4 drone kills. That is brutal, considering we have such a low economy to begin with. And it's all or nothing. It is all or nothing at this point. Bailings are welding in, but this is too soon. The Bailings, they don't break in. GG gets called, and Rodzyn takes game number 2. GG. GG, well played. Rodzyn will tap the series 1-1, and we are going to the ace match. Let's go. And with that, so we're getting ready for our next game here for the ace match. Again, it was so close. It was so close what Snoxtar was whipping out there. Again, he was doing so much damage. He broke into the main, but arguably, I didn't really like that he was focusing on the Nexus, if you remember. He put a lot of damage on that initial Nexus. Whereas that could have been on the gateway. That could have been on the gateway. Instead, the gateway was more exposed. If the gateway had fallen, no Adept, right? As soon as the Adept spawned in, as soon as it popped out, that was kind of game. That was the defense secured for Rodzyn with that first Adept. And that is something that we did have to deny. And with that, we're going to game 3. We're going all the way to the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alkione, we have our purple Protoss player from the land of Poland representing Platinum Esports. It is Rodzyn. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Zerg player, the yellow Zerg, representing Aftermath Esports, being forced into the ace match. Can he bounce back? It is Snoxtar. Rodzyn immediately going for that third base for the gold, mining through these minerals, and looking to deny any fast gold. We saw this between Rodzyn and a laser, and Rodzyn was able to shut this down. We can see that Snoxtar is not that spicy. Going for the natural, not going for the gold, so Rodzyn preemptively trying to shut down something that isn't really happening. He's going to be checking, we'll confirm that there is no mined minerals, there is no gold, and we'll back off. Again, this is meant to be a blind counter to the gold base, and we've seen this work, we've seen this otherwise fall in its face. Snoxtar just going for a standard opener instead. Hatch gas pool. Standard opener out of Snoxtar. Meanwhile, the probe is dipping in. Does check the natural. does head into the main. And again, from here, we're going to be entering a more standard game. There's no early gas, no early pull. We're calming things down. Likewise, Rodzyn back at home should be opening up Stargate as well. Now, we have seen Rodzyn spice things up, especially on this map. We saw Mass Oracle out of Rodzyn against a laser. So we'll keep an eye on him. Likewise, we'll keep an eye on Snoxtar as well. All lands aren't too effective on this map. Again, the third base is quite defendable because of the ramp, because of the high ground. Likewise, because of the Xel'Naga, it is easier to scout at these big all-ins and these big move-outs. So Rodzyn should be feeling a lot more secure as we go for our Stargate. It is going to be the initial Stargate opener from Rodzyn. As we are looking to expand, likewise back across the map. Third hatchery has been thrown down. Snoxtar just droning, taking a third. Nothing crazy. Pulling out rushing into banelings. Not rushing into roaches. The game will calm down. The calming down. And from here, this should just be a triple Oracle into a third. Oracle's on the way, not a Void Ray opener. Should be working towards that third base. Again, some of the big features of this map is the defendable third and fourth. The fourth base as well is quite secure. It's further back. It's harder to push into. We could try to rush into the gold, but that is a bit of a riskier maneuver here. I don't know if either player is willing to do that. Is willing to embrace the gold quite yet. As the probe is sent out, and we are going for the third. Meanwhile, the Oracle moves out across the map. Does hit the main. There's a Spore and a Queen in position. Only the one Queen, but it is enough to deter the Oracle. Rotates towards the third. Two Queens in position. And the third base is safe and sound. The Oracle unable to break in. And Snoxtar, interesting, going for an earlier Roach Warren. That is a 4-minute Roach Warren timing from Snoxtar. Very early. You typically don't need a Roach Warren this early on if you're up against a Stargate opener. This is a prime time for like a Glaive Adept defense, but we can see that there's no aggression, and Snoxtar knows that. He sees the Oracles. He does confirm the tech. Forge into Twilight Council should be +1 and Blink. So maybe Snoxtar just being overly safe. Just being overly secure here means that he won't be able to get too much done with these roaches. Especially as he's droning and working towards a lair. Just could be droning up. Queen's getting in position. Yeah, zoning away those oracles. Expanding, looking to take a fourth. Now, so far, Snoxtar does hold on. And Rodzyn going for a big gateway explosion. Interesting. So this is going to be a 6-gate setup. We have yet to take gases. If you remember in Rodzyn's series against a laser, we were able to... Sorry, no, it's laser. Earlier in game 1, we saw Rodzyn achieve a lot of damage with his initial Blink Stalkers. It was on Crimson Court, if you recall. He was able to do quite a bit with it. And I believe it was an 8-gate variation out of Rodzyn. For now, only 6 gateways. We're still building up. Still building up towards that. Hydrogen has been thrown down, so this looks like the same build actually that we saw in Crimson Court from Rodzyn. Just going Roach into Hydra. Not rushing into Hives. No Hive, no Lurker Den. Oracles do hit the fourth. Getting a lot of damage, but there's just too much progression on this base. The Queens will defend it. And we can see here that Rodzyn did go up to 6 gates, but did not throw down additional gateways. It's expanding instead. So still very macro-oriented. Does have a lot of Stalkers, but it looks like the goal here is to try to deny this fourth. And we are pushing out. 2 more gates now on the way, but we delay these gateways in favor of the fourth. So not too aggressive. as Rodzyn is pushing in. Looking to knock down that hatchery. Oh. Does manage to catch a couple of roaches, but the Hydras are here to support. And this should be a cleaner defense compared to what we saw in Crimson Court, where Rodzyn did an amazing amount of damage against Snoxtar, but this time, again, we have more support for the Hydras. The push is later. And Snoxtar is maintaining himself. Does hold on to that fort. Yes, we even bleed out Snoxtar. Oh, God! The Stasis doesn't quite connect. Oh, nicely done there by Snoxtar. Baits out the Stasis trap. Did spot it with that Overseer. Was aware. We do see Rodzyn being forced back. We have the high ground, we have the concave. And we just maintain this position. Rodzyn working towards his charge. No additional gateways, sorry, no additional gases yet. Working towards charge, working towards storm. And Snoxtar looking quite comfortable. Getting into what he wants. What does he want? Roach Hydra. A really old school composition here. Like, usually at this level of play, when players go into Hydras like this, they should be working towards a fast hive into lurkers. That's not the case here. That's not the case for Snoxtar. Much more old school composition. And we saw this work out in game one. I'm still on the fence. I'm still not in love with this. Things worked out very well for Snoxtar because of his fight that he took on Crimson Court, where he was able to get us around. But here in these head-on fights, he can't really be too aggressive. He can't really push through. Rotates over towards the third. Storm finishing up in 1 second. Overcharges over and shows the Storm. Up! Up! Not yet. Hydras do split, but a good Storm here on the Hydras. Oh my god, we sit in the Storm! Yeah, massive connection. This Roach Hydra army is going to crumble. At the same time, Snoxtar, he dives into the mineral lines. Gets into the natural bust into the main, but the main army should fall. Yeah, Rodzyn completely shuts down the main force. But we're getting damage done. Probes are falling, both in the main and in the natural. 26 probe kills. Did I say 26? I meant to say 30, 31, 32, 33. At the same time, we're rallying reinforcements towards the fourth. We're going to be able to hold on, though. Snoxtar overextending, but he does get 39 probe kills, an insane amount of damage. Very nicely done here by Snoxtar. It did cost him a lot of his army, but was worth it in the end. And now you can see here we're amassing a second wave, a second force of Roach Hydra. Still no tech. Personally, I would like this a lot more if we did have a hive and a lurker den on the way. Like, we would just outscale Rodzyn. Because we're staying on Roach Hydra, Rodzyn still has a chance with storms. If we can get some good storm connections, then Rodzyn can take a fight. It's going to be a big if, though. Hydra starts stepping forward and does get the Archon. Stalker's going down. Rodzyn thankfully has the fourth. Like, because of these cannons and shield batteries, the fourth base is able to sustain Rodzyn. Does maintain himself. Reprobing, resaturating his natural and his main. Still in the works. Zealot Rabbi gets shut down. They're able to keep up. So let's do hit the fourth base. At the same time, oh, Snoxtar maybe bleeding out a little bit too much here. We can aggressively blink. We can and we will. Hydras and Roaches being chased down. And again, there's just no further tech here. Like, Snoxtar has the money for it as well. We have gas. We have gas to spare. Goal base on the way. But Snoxtar, he's just trying to brute force his way through this. Trying to brute force Roach Hydra. We'll see if it works. I mean, Rodzyn is out of position. True. He is out of position. We dive on the fourth base. We focus down the cannons. We focus down the shield battery. Get into the mineral line. At the same time, Rodzyn coming in from behind. He will clean this up, but we are getting some economic damage done. Getting 7, 8 probe kills. Getting up to 12. Not bad, but these are expensive trades. On the one hand, yes, we got 12 workers. Like, yes, Snoxtar, he's up in economy, but he's also trading worse. Like, he's just trading inefficiently. Now we get the Lurker Den. It's finally on the way, but it's quite late. And now we see Rodzyn with a lot of momentum. Yeah, and Rodzyn, he's looking to take this. He's looking to counterattack. And there's barely anything to stop him. Snoxtar threw away so much in that counterattack. He threw away so much in that push. Massive storm. GG gets called. There is nothing left. And Rodzyn takes the series 2-1, advancing on to the upper semifinals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Rodzyn as he does weather the storm. Again, this style from Snoxtar, I'm not in love with it. It worked in game one, but it only worked because Rodzyn overextended. Here, with Rodzyn being a lot more careful, Snoxtar just gets outscaled. He just, even despite killing 39 probes, he killed 39 workers. Still wasn't enough. You're still stuck with Roach Hydra. You're still stuck with just a subpar army that just doesn't scale well into the mid game or into late game or even into the mid game, to be honest. And Rodzyn just overwhelms in the end. GG. GG, well played. We had a Lurker Den in production towards the end, but it was just far too little, far too late. And Snoxtar is knocked down to the lower bracket. With that, exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to catch up on the bracket yourselves. We have results coming in. Rodzyn takes down Snoxtar. Geralt takes down Aristery. And we have our first upper bracket semifinals match ready for us. It's going to be Geralt versus Rodzyn. Now, I'm still uncertain if we're going to be... Okay, yep. Yeah, we have confirmation. Geralt versus Rodzyn is going to be coming up next. It makes sense. We're going to be following them into their next series. I believe Trifax versus Christiana will be played off-stream. I believe they're going to be played off-stream at the same time. And once we wrap up with Geralt versus Rodzyn, we'll be jumping into a laser versus either Trifax or Christiana afterwards. So first one semifinals, then the other. So it is going to be a PvP. Hope you've been enjoying all the PvZs, but we have avoided the mirror match the entire cast. It's been like, what, 6-7 hours? Yeah. It's been, yeah, around like 6 hours here, and again, we've been avoiding the PvPs and the ZvZs, but we could only avoid those mirror matchups for so long, as we are going to be diving into that PvP after a short break. Otherwise, hope you've all been enjoying yourselves. Hope you've all had a great time here tonight so far. It's going to take a moment for our players to get ready and for Geralt to set up on the stage. We'll take a moment. Until then, I guess, yeah, we're going to be going on that short break. When we return, we're going to have a PvP ready for you, followed by a laser versus his next opponent as well. Again, the playoffs are getting underway. And we'll be back soon after the short break.